One of the things that we've done a good bit of talking about the past few weeks here is the 2025 NFL draft. The fact that this draft could be, not just in my own opinion, but many other people have said this, as consequential towards building a franchise as was the 2022 NFL draft. And those players have only known Super Bowls. So, one thing that is easy to overlook is prior draft success, but there is one place on the field that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to experience that perhaps more than any other position this coming season. And there is an interesting article from Arrowhead Pride titled, "The Chiefs' Hidden Gems, 3 Secret Superstars on the 2025 Roster," which is definitely worth your time. I am going to highlight one part of that article in today's video because I think there's some good stuff to talk about here. The subtitle is "Identifying 3 Secret Superstars Who Can Help Kansas City Bounce Back from Its Super Bowl Embarrassment" from Arrowhead Pride by Doug Farrar. We have the following subcategory from that article. Underrated veteran, safety Jaden Hicks. Now, a bit of a stretch to call Jaden Hicks a veteran, but it's technically true. He's entering his sophomore campaign in the NFL, a rookie just last year, but nonetheless, he will likely play a very large role on the 2025 Chiefs defense. The article shared says this: "Before the 2024 draft, my scouting report on this Washington State safety specified that Hicks was at his best as a box slot enforcer. After selecting him with the 133rd overall pick of the 4th round, the Chiefs played him all over the place in training camp and the preseason, but Spagnuolo and defensive backs coach Dave Merritt eventually saw Hicks as more of a deep third player. That worked very well. That's why those guys are NFL coaches, and I'm not. Same here, Mr. Farrar. In his rookie campaign, Hicks played split safety on 35% of his snaps and middle of the field safety on 31% of his snaps. Overall, he allowed 12 catches on 20 targets for 144 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 5 passes defensed, and an opponent passer rating of only 59.2, 330 reps, so not the greatest sample size, but still, it is likely that when other teams saw Jaden Hicks on the field, they attempted to pick on him more than just any other defensive back on the field because he was a rookie, and he does have a little bit of physical limitation, which we'll get to in a moment. Hicks collected 2 quarterback pressures, 23 solo tackles, 13 stops, and 3 tackles for loss. He also proved to be a valuable special teams contributor. He's a good player," Reed said of Hicks. We'll get back to Justin Reed in a moment. In early December. So him working in there, I think, is a positive. He's a young guy who keeps progressing and challenging himself that way. I know the coaches have trust in him, so we'll just see how things go moving forward. He's earned that right to play more. He's got the confidence of Spags that way. And Dave. Cornerback Trent McDuffie saw Hicks' potential back in July. "Jaden's doing great things," he told reporters. "They have him playing a few different positions, which I know as a safety can be difficult in this playbook, but he's asking all the right questions. You can tell each and every day he's coming in and taking notes, focusing in and trying to do everything the correct way, which you love to see on the back end because doing what he is doing is pretty difficult. Just seeing his growth from spring to now has been huge. So I'm excited for him." When you factor in all of the crazy quilt coverage switches Spagnuolo asks his safeties to execute, it would be easy for a rookie to lose the plot. Hicks didn't. He made it clear that he's an ascending player in the secondary, that has cornered the market, pun intended, on talent and development. Now, one thing definitely worth noting here is the fact that Justin Reed is departed. Justin Reed, now a New Orleans Saint. They like taking all of our defensive players. I don't know what's up with that, but they do, and we have to then take a step back and say, okay, Jaden Hicks is likely to be on the field. Justin Reid, unlikely to be on the field, but if Mecole Hardman has taught us anything, it is that the Kansas City Chiefs will reacquire guys that they have had in the past if the price is right. So, looking at Jaden Hicks and Justin Reid, some things start to develop. Jaden Hicks played 330 snaps last year. Justin Reid played 974 snaps. Jaden Hicks is entering year 2. Justin Reid is entering year 7. So youth is on Jaden Hicks' side. Now, in addition to youth, we do know that the Kansas City Chiefs have had and are likely to continue to have, so long as they have the biggest piece on the board, Patrick Mahomes, salary cap issues the past couple of seasons, and so some cheaper help at certain spots is going to go a long way towards maintaining the Chiefs' incredible playoff success and regular season success. But I think in the Patrick Mahomes era, we don't have the luxury of being concerned with regular season success. So cheaper pieces contributing more are going to be vital to continue to see AFC Championship games and Super Bowls. Jaden Hicks scheduled to make just $1.09 million this year in his final season in Kansas. Well, during his entire run for Kansas City, Justin Reid earned an average of $10.5 million per season. So a very large chasm between those two payrolls, and allowing Kansas City the ability to acquire talent at other positions. For example, double stacking left tackles, Jalen Moore as well as first-round pick Joshua Simmons, is important if the Kansas City Chiefs are going to continue to take stabs at places where they need help. That did not happen at defensive tackle this season, but it happened at left tackle. And all things considered, I think you would agree with me, it's going to be fun to watch the offense more with a left tackle than we would be rooting for a second defensive tackle on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, looking at the performances, yes, Jaden Hicks, with his 330 snaps last season, is a bit of a step down from Justin Reid, even with a 3 times higher snap count. Meaning, so the more you're on the field, the more it is that you're able to sort of get exposed and picked apart. Justin Reid was as solid as they got. Now, I was critical of Justin Reid up until last season. Very solid year for Justin Reid, but we're going to get something in a moment that is going to make us rethink a little bit of the fact that Jaden Hicks is going to be a step backwards on the field. Now, the overall grades for these two players, Justin Reid scored a 76.9. Doesn't get much more solid than that without reaching into star-level plays. 72.2 from Jaden Hicks. A reminder that Jaden Hicks is in his second season. Now, they both have a pass rush grade, Justin Reid of 58.7, Jaden Hicks of 52.1. Not the biggest deal from the safety position. Sure, Spags will send one of these guys every once in a while, but it's not all that large a concern. Run defense grade, a 75.9 from Justin Reid and a 71.7 from Jaden Hicks. Well within the margin of what would be expected from a rookie and a sixth-year veteran. And then the coverage grade of 77.4 for Justin Reid compared to a 72.0 for Jaden Hicks. I have to believe that some of that, like Mr. Farrar was saying earlier, a lot of complicated coverages in the Steve Spagnuolo defense. So a little bit of that will come out in the wash as Justin Reid matures in the defense. Now, he played, Justin Reid, 3 times the reps of Jaden Hicks, has 3.5 times the number of tackles, 70 tackles, solo tackles for Justin Reid, 20 for Jaden Hicks. We have 6 pressures from Justin Reid, just 2 pressures from Jaden Hicks. Difficult to find all that many opportunities to send a rookie on the rush if you're looking at having someone who is assignment sound. 44 receptions allowed, 11 receptions allowed. That, by the way, is a 4 times multiplier not the 3 times multiplier that you see from Jaden Hicks' snap count to Justin Reid's snap count. But what do we have here? In 1/3 as many opportunities, Jaden Hicks has 1/3 the times, or 1 1/3 times the number of interceptions. One thing that okay. The big criticism going back a couple of seasons that I had on Justin Reid was that he was Justin on the field. He was just there. A lot of the times he was just there. I think he did have a little bit more of an impact last season than we had seen in previous years. I did not collect any numbers to substantiate that, but please listen to your favorite armchair's opinion. Maybe my opinion isn't worth that much. That's understandable. But I do think Justin Reid stepped up a little bit last year compared to where he was previously. We still didn't see the impact plays from Justin Reid that we saw from Jaden Hicks, evidenced not just by those 3 interceptions, but Jaden Hicks was running around absolutely walloping people from time to time. That type of enforcer on the back end for the Kansas City Chiefs is something, look, this is an old school thought process, something you don't get in the NFL very much anymore. But there's a lot of smaller wide receivers than there was just a handful of years ago. Xavier Worthy is an example of that, but he is far from the only one. You have a Jaden Hicks running around the safety position, molly-whopping people from time to time. You're telling me that the 5'9", 178 wide receivers in the league don't watch film and write that down? Okay, but I think they do. Justin Reid didn't give us a whole lot of that. Jaden Hicks is going to. Jaden Hicks is absolutely going to slap the snot out of wide receivers in the NFL, and probably some running backs as well. So who is Jaden Hicks compared to Justin Reid? Well, we have the numbers on that too. And remember, a couple of things here before we get into it. Yeah, Justin Reid has a couple steps on Jaden Hicks in the speed department. That's true. Justin Reid is also entering year 7 in the NFL. Justin Reid, so long as he has been in Kansas City, has been playing very long playoff runs. That takes toll on your body, especially the position like safety, where you have to run a lot, and a lot of these running backs are going to be bigger than the 207 pounds represented by Justin Reid, or the 211 by Jaden Hicks for that matter, but that weighs on you. So basically, in the last 3 seasons, Justin Reid has played an additional season of NFL football. Basically, not quite, but basically. You take that into account, and the speed advantages held by Justin Reid over Jaden Hicks entering year 7 of his NFL career, maybe he has lost a step himself. That's understandable. That's father time. You can't beat it. No one has, except for Paul Rudd, I guess. Say what you have to say. 6'1" and 7/8 from Jaden Hicks, basically 6 foot 2 inches tall. He's 1.5 inches taller than Justin Reid. 211 pounds for Jaden Hicks. That is a handful of pounds, 4 pounds heavier than the 207 pounds of Justin Reid. Essentially the same arm length, 31.5 inches for Jaden Hicks, 31 5/8 for Justin Reid. Essentially comparable hand size, 9 3/4 for Jaden Hicks, 9 3/4 for Justin Reid. A large advantage for the 40-yard dash, but not something that is dastardly for Jaden Hicks. A 4.49 40 for Jaden Hicks, a 4.40 40 for Justin Reid. Justin Reid entering year 7 of his NFL career. Is that still the case. Now, the interesting part of this, 9/100ths of a second slower is Jaden Hicks than Justin Reed. But that 10-yard split represents 7/100ths of the difference. So in that back 30 yards of the 40-yard dash, they're essentially the same guy. Unfortunately, the first 10 yards of the 40-yard dash is the very important part. The 20-yard shuttle, a big difference here as well. 4.15 for Justin Reed versus 4.37 for Jaden Hicks. A 6.65 three-cone drill versus a 6.88 three-cone drill for Jaden Hicks. Again, though, for Jaden Hicks, neither of these numbers is embarrassing. A 37.5-inch vert for Jaden Hicks, a 1-inch advantage over the 36.5 for Justin Reed. Justin Reed holds a 6-inch advantage in the broad jump, 10 foot 8 inches versus Jaden Hicks, 10 foot 2 inches, and they had the same number of bench press reps with 16. That's fine and dandy. And we will say, we talk about this all the time leading up to the draft. The measurables are a big thing because coaching in the NFL can go a long way. If you can coach a player into the same habits, but one player is 9/100ths of a second faster, he's going to get there 9/100ths of a second faster. That can be the difference on a football field between a 3-yard loss and a 98-yard touchdown. We all know that. But there's something else we have to talk about every season leading up to the draft. There are some guys who just have it. There are some guys that you would look at on the on the measurables sheet and say, don't know about it, boss. Look at Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster fell in the draft because he was not a very fast wide receiver. That didn't stop him from 2 of his first 3 seasons in the NFL, I believe it was, off the top of my head. Wasn't planning on talking about this, so I didn't check. 2 of his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he had a 90-plus yard touchdown. Because Juju Smith-Schuster is good at playing football. He's not the fastest guy. He doesn't give you the best vertical leap. He's just really good at playing the sport of football. Jaden Hicks represents someone who appears to be very good at playing the sport of football. Now, Juju Smith-Schuster on the measurable sheet kind of left you wanting, right? A wide receiver, I think he ran a 4.58 40, something like that. Something that you looked at and was like, whoa, I don't know if he's going to be able to cut it in the NFL. I believe his vertical leap was like 31 inches, something like that. One of those explosive numbers was not very good for Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't remember off the top of my head which one it was, but he left you wanting looking at the measurables. Jaden Hicks doesn't do that. Jaden Hicks checks all of the boxes. 4.4 40, barely, but it's there. 35-plus inch vertical, oh yeah. 15-plus reps on the bench press, 16, baby. Is he over 6 foot tall? 6'2". Over 200 pounds? 211. Jaden Hicks has everything that you need in the NFL to be a superstar at the safety position, and he appears to be very, very good at the sport of football. This might be a situation where the Kansas City Chiefs lose a very large piece of their defense, but replace him with someone that performs even better. That is what I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. We're over 2 years of consecutive daily uploads, and as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.